Guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're reviewing the all-new 2025 Acura ADX Aspec Advance.
And a big thanks to Daniel and Lauren at Moss Acura in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Daniel or Lauren.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the ADX is Acura's all-new subcompact luxury SUV released this year for 2025. Sharing a chassis with the HR-V from Honda's lineup, which I've considered a fun, spacious, and nimble platform just needing an upgraded engine option because of its relatively weak, naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder, which isn't a problem because of its price point, but if we're going to be charging a little bit more money for the luxury version of that HR-V, it's nice to get the upgraded engine option, which is exactly what Acura has done by putting their regular output 1.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder share with the CR-V and Accord, just slightly detuned compared to the Acura Integra with 190 horsepower, 179 pound-feet of torque, made it to a CVT transmission, and available in 3 trims, either in front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive as a $2,000 option for all trim levels, ranging from the $35,000 base up to the $42,000 Aspec Advance that we have here. $44,000 for the all-wheel drive model. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So as far as front-end styling, it really shares a lot with the other SUVs in Acura's lineup, in a good way too, because Acura's SUVs have become really sharp looking. LED daytime running light, full LED projector headlamp, black headlight housing, and we get black contrast for the grille, black Acura badge, which I believe is a dealer option, but it looks really good here on this 2025 ADX. We have the forward-facing camera and 360 on this top Aspec Advanced trim, full front parking sensing, LED fog lights, and we get the black diffuser, which looks really clean with this pearl white metallic paint color. Hopefully you can pick up the sparkles here in the Florida sun. Really sharp looking front end styling. The wheel and tire setup also sharp. We get these black 19-inch rims, black lug nuts, wrapped in Continental Pro Contact all-season tires. Dimensions are 235/45 R19. The 45 sidewall tires look low profile enough, but they're also thick enough to keep this ride quality super plush. I like the black trim for the wheel well areas, black rocker panel side skirts too. We'll take a step back, Aspec badge in the upper right part of the fender area with the red contrasted A, black mirror caps, LED turn signals on the mirror, blind spot monitoring on the glass. We get all black trim for the window trim, blacked out pillars, smart access for the driver and a front passenger. I'll take a step back. Hopefully you guys can pick up the side profile here on this 2025 ADX Aspec Advance. We get a pretty large panoramic moonroof up top too, body color shark fin antenna, same rear wheel and tire setup. The only difference is a smaller brake caliper. I like the subtle flared splash guard in the corner as well. The gas cap is push to open, easy fill, and we get 91 as our recommended fuel for this 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. We get full LED taillights, turn signals, and reverse lights. All right, guys, in case you couldn't get a good idea of the rear end styling because of how close I was to the fence, I scooted up a little bit for you guys. But outside of the taillights sharing a little bit of the shape with the HR-V, everything is completely different here. Even the taillights look like they have a different overall material, it's just the overall shape being similar. We get dual spoilers, blacked out Acura badge, Aspec in the upper left corner, ADX on the opposite side. Shout out Moss Acura in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. All-wheel drive badge in the lower right corner, full rear parking sensing. We get a decently aggressive lower diffuser and nice RDX styled exhaust tips. And speaking of the exhaust tips, let's fire up this 2025 Acura ADX with the 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, and here how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine sold by Acura for the 2025 ADX. And it sounds okay, cranking out 190 horsepower, 179 pound-feet of torque, made it to a CVT transmission, sending the power to all 4 wheels. You can expect 0 to 60 in around the 8 to 8.5 second range. So about a second and a half quicker compared to an HR-V, but also about a second slower compared to the Integra. I kind of wish they at least gave us the higher output version of the 1.5-liter turbo in this ADX, especially with the premium fuel recommendations, but it wouldn't have made that big of a difference, just a nippy complaint. Hopefully we get a Type S model with the upgraded 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine in the upcoming years. But what you see is basically what we get. We can shut this hood right down, no hydraulic struts. At this price point, it would be nice, but this is the most entry-level SUV that Acura sells. So they are gonna be cutting costs at least somewhere. But as you'll see when we take a step inside, not cutting costs in a whole lot of places, but we get soft touch materials up top. If I didn't mention, underneath the mirror we have an additional camera to help us out with the 360. But continuing with the door panel, we get red and black contrast for the center area. The red area is leather and the black area is suede Alcantara. We get some carbon flash underneath it and a gushy soft red leather armrest. Bang & Olufsen speakers, and it sounds really good in the smaller SUV. 2-person memory seats, 4-window auto-on touch, power folding mirrors, 4-way adjustable, aluminum A-Spec nameplate as we step inside. And these seats aren't just comfortable, but with the A-Spec you also get a little bit of supportive bolsters too. Some cross stitching, perforation, heated and ventilated. We get suede and leather contrast, fully electrically adjustable with 4-way lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift and slide the front seats. But taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. So first thing we notice, there's definitely some similarities here compared to an HRV. The screen layout, the temperature controls, the vent controls are a little bit similar. Actually, the vents are completely different because the HRV has the connecting vents. But there are some similarities, but there's also some serious differences. Everywhere that your body's going to touch in this SUV, it's going to feel miles ahead, more premium. The steering wheel is thick, soft leather with red contrast stitching, perforated leather for the 9 and 3, 10 and 2 bolstering area, which is fat. 9 and 3 fits perfectly in your hands. Heated steering wheel, A-Spec specific with a flat bottom. This is a huge improvement compared to any steering wheel from the HRV. We get a rubberized horn area. The horn itself, loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. We'll do a window check. We don't get dual panes, but it's a thick single pane of glass. Volume skip controls on the left side, voice commands on the right side, adaptive cruise control with our lane keep assist. Aluminum paddle shifters, that's a really premium touch for the CVT. Stocks have a satisfying click. Auto headlamps, fog lights, auto rain sensing wipers, that's an appreciated touch at this price point. We had a leather stitched dashboard with soft touch for the back of it. Some additional Bang & Olufsen speakers, 2 tweeters on the pillars, and a pretty large bass speaker in the center with 2 speakers on each front door panel. We have a 9-inch touchscreen here too with a 10.2-inch digital gauge display. The digital gauge display, I don't believe there's too many adjustments here. We'll take a look with this right control. Yeah, we can adjust speed and time, navigation, driver attention, all-wheel drive torque distribution. That's probably my personal favorite screen to leave it at all times. On the left side, we can adjust between FM, AM, USB, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Alexa, and you can customize the display, hide, show, audio clock, back. We're not going to be adjusting anything. Let the potential owner of this vehicle customize to their liking. Anyway, we get a tach that goes to about 6,500 RPM. The speedometer goes to 140. Outdoor temperature underneath the tach with the mileage on the right side. Drive modes underneath the speedometer as well. Our drive mode selector over here. Our drive modes include normal, comfort, snow, and sport. We'll start off in normal, try out sport, try out comfort, and just see what the differences are. With the coolant temperature on the left side, fuel level on the right. The tilt and telescoping steering column as well. You can open up the trunk electrically, and you also have a kick function with the key in your pocket. Turn off the traction control, hood latch release, and hopefully you get a good look at the aluminum outline pedals. I mentioned a 9-inch touchscreen here. It's a Google-based display with maps. Let's check it out. The response is excellent. Resolution 2 is Google's latest display, which, as we know, is one of the best in the business. Response fantastic, resolution top-notch premium, as we mentioned. We also get phone, FM, Play Store, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Alexa, vehicle settings, general settings. Just pause, take a look, all of that. My personal favorite to leave it at all times would be the Google Maps base display. We can recenter it. Beneath that, just hard plastic. The air vents have aluminum stocks for the adjustments, hazards in the center, with some carbon flash aluminum looking trim outside of it. We get heated and ventilated seats. It's a premium touch. Dual zone automatic front climate control. We get 2 USB-C ports underneath, 12-volt wireless phone charging pad, cup holder with a nice little area for a phone or a wallet. On top of our drive modes, we also have an individual mode that you can configure. Engine start, stop, you can disable. Hill descent control, electronic parking brake with brake hold. Backup camera and 360. You get guidance lines and trajectory for both. Different views, let's check it out. Wide view only, narrower looking rear view, and right back to where we were before with a more over the top look as well. Probably my personal favorite to leave it at. And we throw right back into park. Return right back to the previous screen. We also have a sport mode for the transmission, additional cup holder, which is really spacious, so easily fit a big gulp in there. Gushy soft red leather console cover with some more leather stitching for the passenger's leg will hit. For the driver's leg, just hard plastic. The center console space is really impressive. You'll fit 12 1-liter bottles of soda in there with no problem. Definitely one of the more spacious center consoles for a subcompact SUV. Just hard plastic outside of the glove box area. The glove box itself is also spacious. You'll fit 20 license plates in there. Should be able to fit 2 pairs of shoes. We'll take a quick look at this window sticker. This vehicle is not actually for sale, but it's going to be fully loaded and it's going to display everything that Acura has to offer as well as this dealership. So don't get too discouraged when it comes to pricing. You can get one of these a little bit more bare bones, 2-wheel drive, around $35,000 before destination, any options, and of course tax and regular fees. You can add on all-wheel drive to any model, as you mentioned, for $2,000 bucks. But $600 here for the platinum white pearl paint, $44,000 for the top of the line all-wheel drive model, plus $600 for the paint, plus $1,350 for the destination, totals us out right under $46,000 bucks. Definitely getting up there in price for a subcompact, but this is as fully loaded as this new ADX comes. Still getting 27 mpgs, 25 in the city, 30 on the highway. You can pause, take a look at all the standard features. Anyway, we get a frameless auto-dimming rear view mirror. The interior lights are LED and a large panoramic moonroof. You can open up the shades separately from the glass. The shade opens up really quickly. Now the shade's open, we can open up the roof, and the opening section of the roof goes underneath the second panel so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. See if it goes out any further. It does. Wow, so towards the end of the front row, large opening to poke our way out of here. Beautiful day today in Tampa, Florida, sunny and 79 degrees according to this 2025 ADX. We can shut this glass right up, leave the shade open, so when we hop out back, you guys can see how much light is brought into the cabin with our sunglass holder up top as well. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all-new 2025 Acura ADX Aspec Advanced. Let's take a step out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the materials. I guess we gotta unlock all the doors to access it. But up top, hard plastic, kind of to be expected. Maybe not for the top of the line trim level, but considering the trend so far with Honda's lineup, not necessarily unexpected that the entry-level Acuras will have hard plastic up top and in the center. But we get the gushy soft leather armrest, auto one-touch window with 2 Bang & Olufsen speakers, aluminum door handle, hard plastic down below, and you'll fit a big gulp in this storage pocket. The second row seats, the padding goes all the way out to the door frame. We still get the leather and suede contrast with decent amount of legroom for a subcompact. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have about 3-4 inches of knee room, just like the HRV. Headroom, I have about 2-3 inches. So for a subcompact, this is definitely not as cramped as I was expecting. Air vents are appreciated, 2 USB-C ports. The center cubby in here, leather wrapped, probably leatherette with 2 cup holders. You'll fit 16, maybe 24-ounce bottles. These seats, they do not recline, but you can fold them down. It looks like 60-40 splits to allow a little bit more overall space. Ton of light brought into the cabin thanks to the panoramic moonroof with touch-sensitive LED interior lights. We have grab handles for both the rear passengers, but only the driver's side passenger gets a hook for a suit or a dress. That's about it though, guys, for the second row, the 2025 ADX Aspec Advanced. Let's take a step out towards the cargo space, see how much space is offered back here, and then take this 2025 ADX Aspec Advanced out for a drive. So cargo space wise, this is really impressive. I'll leave a link right here to show you exactly how much there is with our Bang & Olufsen subwoofer in the corner, which may take up a tiny bit of space, but as you see, it really wouldn't have compromised that much. The step-in is low at around 6 feet tall. My knees are the same height as a step-in, so if you have older or smaller pets, they shouldn't have much trouble hopping back here. And again, with this large cargo space and pretty tall roof, this is one of the most pet-friendly subcompact SUVs right now on the road today, especially considering the luxury that we get. Underneath this Aspec floor liner, let's see if we have any secret storage. A little bit. And underneath the secret storage, we have our donut spare tire. Additional 12 volt in front of our LED interior lighting. 12 volt can be useful for electrically cooled coolers. What you see is basically what we get. We can shut the trunk right up. It gives you about 1.5 seconds to take a step back. So if you have grocery bags in your hands, you don't have to worry about getting doofed in the head. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all new 2025 Acura ADX Aspec Advance. With this beautiful white metallic and black contrast, this is definitely one of the best looking new luxury subcompact SUVs. And with a turbocharged 1.5 liter 4-cylinder, an engine that we cannot get with the HR-V, but a platform that I have loved for several years now, let's take this 2025 ADX Aspec Advance out for a drive and see what it's got. All right guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2025 Acura ADX Aspec Advance. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions though, the steering feels buttery smooth, well weighted, and very sharp on center. The brakes and throttle, nice and responsive. We can take a step out here. Yeah, the throttle feels good, at least in normal mode, about halfway. I mean, definitely gets up and goes good. Brakes feel good. It's not a fast car by any means, 0 to 60 in the low to mid 8s. It's not as slow as the HR-V, definitely noticeably quicker than that. Steering still feels great, handling feels good. All-wheel drive system feels solid. Strong mid-range, not overwhelmingly strong, but gets this vehicle moving very well. Try it out in sport. Revs immediately increase. Throttle gets more sensitive, steering gets a little bit heavier. Give this guy in front of us a little bit of space. And on the gas. Not overwhelmingly quick, but it gets to highway speeds with no problem. And at highway speeds, it is really quiet in here. This is actually one of the quieter cars we've reviewed on this road. And with just single pane windows, I don't really hear any wind noise. Try some passing power. Feels really good. And quiet. Brakes feel solid. Try these paddles. I mean, there's no gears in the CVT, but definitely affects the ratios. And it's responsive with it too. Upshifts and downshifts are both pretty quick. Also, we didn't mention it in the exterior portion of this review, but the way that this hood is angled, it gives you a really good idea of both wheel wells. So you have a very good idea of both ends in the car from a driver's perspective. You get used to it as you drive over the years. You don't really need that in the hood, but for a beginner driver, it's a very useful feature. Maybe for some non-beginners, considering how people, at least in Florida, have been driving recently. We can try it out in comfort mode. Throttle response gets a lot more dull compared to sport, but it feels good still. Pothole. Wow. Ride quality is fantastic. Even in comfort mode, this feels very strong. I think I would actually leave it in comfort mode for daily driving, because with this turbocharged power plant, it actually feels like it has a gradual build in comfort mode. Not that it doesn't have a gradual build in normal or sport, but normal or sport, half throttle, starts to feel a little bit closer to full throttle, whereas this, every application of your foot has a different overall feel with the throttle, which I personally prefer. It's why I prefer naturally aspirated power plants over turbocharged power plants more often than not. So for daily driving, I think I'd leave it in comfort, at least for the engine. If it was really up to me, I would put it in individual mode and then do sport steering, because I really like the way this steering feels in sport, but everything else, in my opinion, feels a little bit more at home in comfort mode. Overall, guys, if you're looking for the best entry-level luxury SUV right now on the road, I think you're looking at it. Would I necessarily recommend loading it up to $45,000, $46,000? Probably not. I think the closer to $40,000 or sub $40,000 with the all-wheel drive that you get here is the best way you're going to go, because either way, you're not going to be sitting in a cloth interior with plastic everywhere. It's going to be nicer than any HR-V that you've ever sat in, and you get the more upgraded power plant here with the 1.5 liter turbo, which is what I've been asking for quite some time now. This is a really luxurious vehicle when it comes to options and features. You get a 360 camera, upgraded audio system, digital gauge display, all new Google-based infotainment display, and a really quiet, composed, and comfortable interior. If that's what you're looking for, guys, you're okay with spending $45,000+ on this all-out top-of-the-line model, go for it. But if it was me and my dollar, I'd probably stick to a base or at least a mid trim level Aspec trim. If you're gonna load it up to $45,000+, yes, you're gonna get a fully loaded ADX. It's gonna be a sick SUV, but you're really starting to cross up on RDX territory. And if you're gonna spend $45,000, I think I'd recommend just going for the RDX. At $40,000, sub $40,000, this all-wheel drive new 1.5 liter turbo ADX, it's spacious, it's quiet, it's loaded enough with features, with a great HRV platform that I've been saying nothing but great things about for the last few years. If that's what you're looking for, guys, under $40,000, I would 100% recommend checking out the all-new 2025 Acura ADX. And a big thanks to Daniel and Lauren here at Moss Acura in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Tampa Bay area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Daniel or Lauren, and a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. Other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.